We have to be consistent in exercising our sales muscles to keep our pipeline nice and beefy with qualified insurance leads. So don't forget what got you to where you are. Hi, Bobby Fernandez here, performance coach at Agency Performance Partners. And today I really want to talk to you about generating insurance leads. And if you're like many insurance people, generating insurance leads can be a really overwhelming task, especially if we have to start from scratch. You may consider building up your pipeline by buying a lead list or working with your carrier to provide you with some warm lead distribution. And the issue with these leads is that you really have very little control over the quality or the qualification of the lead. On a rough average, about 8 to 12% of these leads sourced this way will actually close. And you may say, hey, that's not a horrible number. And you're right. It's not a horrible number. But you also have to consider, what is your sales process? What is the time that it takes to follow up on 100 leads to close 8 to 12? Do you have a process to follow up quickly and often? Because the longer that a lead sits, the colder it becomes and the less likely it is to close. How quickly are you getting the leads from the source? And once they've been qualified, are you receiving these qualified leads quickly from the lead source before they begin to cool? How are the lead qualifications being measured? And are these really your target customer? I'm not saying that you cannot build a great lead source this way. And this is really a great way to beef up your pipeline, especially during seasonality. But you need to have a great sales process and not just a quoting process. You can turn a lead that might not meet your target qualifications into a really great lead with a great sales process. Understand that this is a great way to supplement, but you also need to diversify the way that you build your lead pipeline. And so we need to be working on building something consistent, and so that we have a steady stream of prospects rather than feast or famine, because it's going to be imperative to our long-term success. We're going to provide you some tips and tricks on how to really beef up your lead pipeline with qualified insurance leads using some of the following methods: following up on unsold quotes, account rounding current customers, asking for referrals, building your centers of influence, following up on lost customers, and my favorite, I like to call 2 feet and a heartbeat, going out and cold calling and prospecting. I know, shocking. Prospecting on a hope is not a strategy, guys, and it definitely doesn't pay the bills. So we need to have a plan. We know that almost everyone needs insurance, and in today's market, it can be very overwhelming and difficult for insureds because they have a lot of choices. So we need to make sure that we are getting our name in front of the prospect and that we're setting ourselves apart from the other choices that they have. And sometimes it can be difficult when we don't have a super huge marketing budget. We're up against Super Bowl ads, directors of mayhems. You don't have, a sign spinner out in front with your name in lights and these names that people see in front of them because they get these commercials coming at them all the time. So what does that mean for us? We need to have a strategy in order to build a pipeline. As Vince Lombardi said, hope is not a strategy. I can't sit and aggressively wait for the phone to ring and hope that my biggest client is going to be on the other end of the line. That's not a strategy. So we need to have a plan. We have a really great producer plan that we've installed with different agencies. And this producer plan can really come in handy. If you haven't downloaded it, I would suggest that you take a look and you download that now so that as we go through these things, you can start building that plan for yourself. We need to have that clearly defined plan so that we can execute our strategy to make our vision of that full, robust pipeline a reality. Having that solid plan each week on how you attack sourcing new leads is going to be important. So go out, pull that down, and I really encourage you to be digging into that as we get into each of these solutions. And you can create your plan as you go. So let's start with unsold quotes. Keeping track of unsold quotes is going to be so important. You've got to keep track of these. You have already built rapport with these customers in the past, and generally you've got all the underwriting information that you already need. Unsold quotes can be a great way to go back and revisit a customer that we didn't win initially. It's important to track this information and set a follow-up for the next year to revisit these customers. Just like our lives and our businesses, our customers' lives and businesses change. And there's a lot of opportunity sitting here just waiting for the right moment to come. Maybe they had a mishandled claim that left a bad taste in their mouth for their current agent. Maybe their current agent has not been proactive on their renewal, and we know that rates are going up. So if you can be proactive on that renewal, you'll have a better opportunity. Maybe they've had a life change that's really opened up a door for you. But here's what I know for sure is if I don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. You may be wondering how to handle unsold quotes, and that's a great question. We have a really great course on winning back unsold quotes. If you'd like, that content is linked in this blog, but I'm going to go over some of the basics. We want to make sure to keep track of your pipeline in your agency management system or your CRM. No one in the agency has any visibility into your pipeline or to your customers that you may be working on if it's not documented. Set a follow-up for 60 days prior to the customer's renewal or earlier if you're commercial lines, and reach out and present an estimate based on what you've already collected the previous year. In personal lines, this is so simple, especially if you're using a rater. You can just refresh your quote and then verify with the client and update the numbers. You've already established rapport with this customer. Reach back out to them, establish that rapport again, find their pains and how you might be able to solve them, verify the information, firm up the quote, and sell it. I know it sounds simple, and it won't always be, and we won't win every time, but our likelihood to close on these clients is much higher because we've already established rapport, and it's a quick process for us and for them because we already have a majority of the underwriting information. The next thing we're going to talk about is account rounding. So many agents' books are full of wonderful opportunities for qualified leads by simply just taking a look into our book. We really believe in the 4 and SCORE principle. That means that almost every insurance customer needs a minimum of 4 insurance policies. For personal lines, that's auto, home, umbrella, and life. Commercial lines, liability, property, umbrella, workers' compensation. We understand that this is not every customer, but a majority of customers need at least 4 lines of business. And if we don't currently write those 4 lines of business, then there is opportunity here. This is an opportunity to create a really great, well-rounded customer, as well as minimizing our competition so that we keep our competition away from our customer and our customers have all of their business with us. We've already built a relationship with that customer, so we've got deposits in our customer piggy bank. We need to be asking about their other insurance policies and educating the customer on the benefits of having all of their business placed with our agency. It's a huge benefit to the customer, not only because of the great discounts that may apply, but also because it really helps our agency to manage the customer's risk and avoid potential gaps in coverage. That's the last thing we want. If we don't have a full scope of what is going on with that customer's account, we can't effectively manage the risk. And that's really what we're there to do. Now let's talk about referrals. Referrals from our customers can be an easy way to fill your pipeline with qualified insurance leads. Just imagine if you had one referral from each of your clients and what that would mean for your pipeline. It's a pretty exciting thought, isn't it? If you could just double the amount of customers you had by asking your customers for referrals. Many agents forget to ask for referrals because they're using a script or a checklist to guide their conversation, or they don't have a really good installed sales process. Sometimes it might feel a little weird to ask for a referral. So maybe you're not a frontline salesperson. Maybe you're an account manager who is used to managing everything after the account comes in. I want you to understand that it's not salesy or braggy when you are trying to ask for a referral from your customer. You're a licensed professional and you've done a great job. And so we need to ask the question. Remember, if we don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. It's going to be impossible for us to overcome any objection if we don't uncover the objection and understand what it is. So it's going to be super important that we all understand that it's always the time to ask for a referral. We don't have to just ask at the time of new business or just at the time of renewal. Anytime we are working with our client and we are doing a great job for them, that is a great time to ask for the referral. It's critical, though, that when our customer gives us a referral, that we are handling those referrals with special attention, that we have a great installed sales process and that we are following up on referrals promptly, that we be sure to thank our customer for the referral, that we offer different ways for our customers to refer to us. Maybe they don't always want to refer over the phone. Maybe they can send you an email. Maybe there's an app. Maybe there's some way where they can refer on your website. So think about the different ways that a customer could refer someone to you. Always remember that when you're talking to these referrals, you really need to be inspiring that confidence as a trusted advisor. And be impressive. Treat those customers just like you would your current customers, that you don't want to lose them. Those referrals cost how many marketing dollars? 0. And guess what your agency likes? 0 marketing dollars, because then we can spend that marketing budget on other things. Like I said, anytime we have done a great job for a client is a great time to ask for a referral. Now let's talk about building your centers of influence. Centers of influence are a group of other professionals that are connected to your industry, and you can build strong relationships with them. These individuals or groups, they really help you expand your network and assist you with growing your business and can really help you enhance your brand within your space. You can build centers of influence in a lot of different ways. And I'd love to maybe hear some ways that you've built centers of influence. But lenders, different associations, Rotary, professional organizations, community organizations, there are so many wonderful ways that you can network and find other individuals that are connected in your space. Sometimes it might take a little bit of time to build these relationships and find the right influencers. But you need to have patience and be diligent when you're creating your network. Be sure that you are providing a reciprocating arrangement, or you may burn out your contact. It's the theory of giving to get. Foster those relationships so that the value is created for both parties and that your name is really the first one that rolls off their tongue. If they're at a family picnic and their cousin Bob, who owns the largest manufacturing plant in town, says, "Oh, I'm really having this problem with my insurance," that he says, "Hey, this is my agent. You should call them. They'll really be able to help you. They're wonderful and great." And so we want to make sure that we are building that network and that we're exercising patience and that we're giving to get in those situations, and that we have a really great sales process to follow up on those referrals so that we win them. The next thing we're going to talk about is following up on lost customers. Lost customers can be a fantastic way to really build back relationships that maybe have taken a little bit of a pause. Agencies lose customers for a lot of different reasons. The biggest reason that a lot of times we lose a customer is poor communication. Our clients may tell us price, claims, competition, or my favorite, insured request. Don't get me started, because that really doesn't give me any insight into what happened with that account. What I really want to hear is we didn't do enough to prevent our client from looking elsewhere and establish our value and educating our client. Too many times we hear agents say, don't poke the sleeping bear. Like our client is going to forget somehow that they're paying for insurance and we don't want to remind them. But guess what? They know it. And just like you are keeping track of your expiration list, guess who else is keeping track of expiration lists too? And when customers reach out for quotes, you're normally not the only agent that they've reached out to. Other agencies have these customers on expiration lists and they're going to follow up as well. It's not impossible to overcome an objection as long as we know what that objection is. We need to provide meaningful and timely communication to our clients. That means we need to encourage our clients to tell us where they're at so we can meet them there. Going back after lost business is really a great way to reestablish our agency's value and create a new narrative in the agency as a provider of solutions. And we'll do what it takes to make it right. These conversations may not always be easy. They might be a little bit more challenging because we already have a broken relationship there. But we can do a lot of meaningful things to enhance that relationship and discover where we might have some gaps to fill. We have to be empowered to make better decisions when we have that information. So we want to know from the customer what happened, what went wrong, and now how can we fix it? These are really great ways for us to win back customers and create some loyalty there. The next thing I want to talk about is 2 feet and a heartbeat. We all have the ability to pound the pavement, make cold calls, and generate leads. I think our society has become so driven by technology that we have given the job of introduction completely away to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our company website. And I'm not saying that that's not a great way to generate leads. We talked about the fact that we need to diversify the way that we build our pipeline. And we can't just sit and aggressively wait for the phone to ring. And although times have changed and people have different buying methods now, people still buy from people that they know, like, and trust. That means our job is to be known. We need to get in front of the prospect. We need to get to know them and let them know you. Your second job is to be liked. Build authentic and trusting relationships. Don't be just out for the sale. You really want to be authentic in your communication with your customer. They're going to know. And so they're going to like you when they know that you are being authentic and that they can trust you. I know it sounds really simple, but it really takes practice to master a repeatable and solid sales process. Make sure that you are practicing. Cold calling can be uncomfortable for some people. And so practice it. It's going to take time to get comfortable in that. And the only way you're going to get comfortable is to push yourself outside of your box and just go do it. I want to conclude in talking about honoring your golden hour. I've linked a great 3-minute video that Kelly talks about your golden hour and what that means and what that looks like. So if you have questions about your golden hour, check out that video by Kelly. It's great. But what I want you to understand is that we can never stop learning. We can never stop evolving to our next best self. As you evolve and change with the times, it's really important to remember the things and the qualities and the processes that you had in place that assisted you with building that pathway to success. Things like hard work ethic, a great sales process, creating meaningful relationships, investing in yourself, all which led to you creating a beautiful and bountiful lead pipeline. We discussed all the ways that you can build and maintain a strong pipeline, like following up on unsold quotes, account rounding current customers, asking for referrals, building those centers of influence, following up on your lost customers, and then getting out there with your 2 feet and a heartbeat to get all of those customers and cold call and get your name out there in your community. It can sometimes be challenging when we get to be that nasty B word, busy, to stay consistent in our processes. Or sometimes maybe we've had a lot of success. And so we might try and cut a little bit of corners. But it's like those moments where we say, I'm going to skip the gym today. And then that leads to the next day. And then the next day. And after a while, you realize it's been a month since you've been to the gym and my pants are definitely tighter. Oh, and the same is true with our pipeline. We have to be consistent in exercising our sales muscles to keep our pipeline nice and beefy with qualified insurance leads. So don't forget what got you to where you are. If you're interested in implementing a great sales process in your agency, click on the link to schedule some time. We have some great sales training. You can also book some time with one of our consultants, and you can use us to help you if you need help installing a sales process in your agency. I hope that you enjoyed this content as much as I enjoyed making it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.